Hello and welcome. My name is Olga. Welcome to this Facebook Live. I am a relationships coach and advanced fast safety practitioner. And in today's video, we're talking about something is known as fixer-upper syndrome. And yes, you're in the right place. I'm not talking about real estate, but I am talking about something very that's been coming up a lot in the sessions lately, and something that I see a lot happening with me before. And this is unfortunately something that's happened in our society more than often. So if you've been dating but kind of notice that you attract the type of people who are not aligned with you very well, or maybe you like the guys who are just kind of not good for you, or emotionally unavailable, or otherwise unavailable, and you just can't seem to break this tendency of going after the wrong guy, so you're going to love this video. So stick around, because today we're talking about the fixer-upper syndrome. So first thing first, let's define what it is. And if you never heard this term, the fixer-upper is essentially referring to a term from real estate, to where you're buying a smaller property, or kind of like beat off or a little bit property that need rehab, and what you do is you're fixing it up, right? So fixer-upper. It works really well in real estate, done right, but unfortunately it doesn't work as nearly as well in a relationship. Nevertheless, many of us, conscious, smart, creative, and achiever kind of women, will go for the fixer-upper kind of man. So we'll pick somebody who's kind of sort of like we want. It's kind of like an okay, and this one is sort of what I want, but not really. And what happens is we'll start kind of convincing ourselves that this is what we want, this is the best we can get, and as a result, we're setting ourselves up for failure, and we're not really aligned with the values. Now, another way this syndrome is known is something that they call the savior syndrome, when you find a person who really need a lot of help, and you go and help him, right? It's like, oh my gosh, we gotta fix this, and we gotta fix that, and we gotta fix this. Another way to think about it, guys, is also known as the castle in the sky, right? So you are kind of building things up in your mind, and in your mind that person looks good, especially if you are dating, but it's just like online, you're just starting to talk, you haven't seen the person in person, and you're starting to make up stories about that guy that may or may not have to do a lot with reality. And so as a result of it, you kind of creating the story and making up something that might not be even real. And so I highly encourage you to start looking at your patterns and see if you are, have dealt with this syndrome before, when you found somebody like, I can fix it up, I can fix him, we can work on this together, right? And I personally went through the story when I started dating 3 years ago. I met this guy. And so maybe you are in this journey where you're starting dating, or maybe there's somebody on a horizon who could potentially be a potential for date, or maybe you've been dating for a while but you're trying to figure out how to find high quality dates. So what I want you to start notice is what is actually happening in those interactions, right? So really pay attention how you showing up and how they showing up. Because very often if you sit back and just kind of relax, so often everything that you need to know about that person will be revealed. But if we jump in and we start making assumptions and we start fixing things and we start saying, no, that's okay. So literally 3 years ago, dating this guy, I'm gonna call him Ben. So Ben is tall, he's an engineer, he has an apartment with a pool, his car is really nice. But as we start talking, it's kind of hard to talk to him. It's very surfacey. It's what's for dinner and what are the kids' names and things like that. And as I go just a little bit deeper behind the surface, it's really hard to have a decent conversation. But he's an engineer and he's tall and he's kind of good looking. And so I was really holding on to this guy, even though I would say things like, yeah, but he doesn't really tell me compliments, and we're like in the first 3 weeks of dating, or he doesn't initiate dates that much, and he told me that he liked me, he told me he wants me to be his girlfriend, why doesn't he initiate the dates, right? But I would ignore all of that. Well, good thing that I was working with fast safety practitioner at that time, because she pointed out to me, it's like, Olga, you're gonna forgive this guy, and you're gonna forget him in 3 months. let it go and go find somebody who actually what you do want versus trying to make him and fix or upper him into what you do want. And so, long story short, thanks God I was working with a practitioner at that time, because I was able to let go of the guy. I was able to go and date some other guys who I normally would not date and who are not necessarily tall and have a good pool and stuff, but who are amazing. And then this is how I met my husband. So my husband Ernie was one of the people that I met when I was getting over that story. And he wasn't what I thought he was going to be at first. We went on the first day and he was respectful and kind and a good listener, but I didn't think it's going to go further. But as we were exploring, he was exactly the kind of guy that I needed. And so today I'm going to talk to you about how to avoid this trap and 3 things that you can do to really, understand how to deal with the fixer-upper. So first of all, notice if you are doing this, if this is one of your patterns, when you find a man and you're trying to make him into what he is, even though he's not quite there, and you just kind of like pulling it out there. Now, once you realize that, the first thing to do to avoid this pattern is to actually get clear on what you want. And by that I mean write at least 10 things that you want in a relationships. And at least 3 of those things are absolute non-negotiables. So for me, non-negotiables was somebody who has an open mind or emotional intelligence or who can learn and grow with me. Number 2, I want to be somebody who's authentic and who can have deep conversation, deep and meaningful conversation. And number 3, I actually want to be somebody who's financially intelligent. I want to have a guy who is stable and financially mature. That was one of my things. And so start making a list of 10 things that are super duper important to you and stand by them. So when you meet a guy and who's not even half there through that list of those deep characteristics, of those soul qualities, those absolute values that your soul craves, it's okay to let him go and find somebody who does fit. Now, if you haven't seen my video on how to make this list, it's called Why I Recommend You Ditch Your Perfect Main List and What to Do Instead. Make sure to Google it. It's on YouTube, or maybe I'll drop a link here. And it talks about how to actually do this list correctly, because many people write about the kind of linens they want to have on the wedding and the color of the house, and they totally mess up this exercise and they think it doesn't work, but it actually does work. The second thing that I recommend to avoid the fixer-upper syndrome is to get in alignment with that thing that you say you want. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I know you heard me say it more than once. This beautiful quote by Deepak Chopra. Oh, hi, Alina. And he said, this is, Alina, you might actually like this one. So somebody asked Deepak Chopra, how do you attract, your soulmate? And he said, well, it's easy. Just make a list of things that you want and become that. Now, we are talking about deeper characteristics, the qualities of the soul and the heart. So we're not talking about that he likes to play tennis or he's organized or he likes chocolate. That's not what we're talking about. Those are features, those are more of a surfacey way to connect, and that's not where we are. We're talking about deep values and things like integrity, things like authenticity, things like somebody who is genuine, things like for me, one of the things actually, I want to do with entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur at soul, and that was one of my core values. My mind is very entrepreneurial. So Ernie runs his own business. We talk business a lot. It's sexy, right? So find somebody who connects with you on a deeper values. And when you get in alignment with that, you actually can start understanding sometime why certain thing doesn't match, or you're attracting who you're attracting, or you're not attracting who you don't want to attract. So I did this exercise literally with 2 clients today, and it was so profound. So very easy, guys. Make a list of 10 things that you want that person to be. And you can say things like respectful, emotional intelligence, spiritual, right? Whatever those things are. 10 things. Second thing that I want you to do, this is where the rubber meets the road, the juiciest part, the most interesting part. Go through that list and say how many of these, or check off how many of those things you are. Do you actually possess those qualities? Are you asking for somebody who's open-minded when you are not? Are you asking for somebody who's honest and value personal integrity when you hide things? Are you asking for somebody who's committed and can keep his word when you are flaky and you forget your appointments or you miss your appointments and you show up every other time? So start looking at how energetically you're attracting those things. And today, one of the women that I work with said, Olga, do you use, law of attraction? I was like, this is the law of attraction. When you tap into your core values and when you get in alignment with those core values, you're activating the law of attraction automatically. You don't have to do a whole lot of affirmations or anything else, because you're affirming it by being, feeling, and by having your memories change. So you're projecting something else, therefore you're seeing something else. I hope it makes sense, guys, but this is so profound to get in alignment with this. So I got so excited about this exercise. It was really wonderful. So the third thing that I recommend, if you are finding yourself in attracting a similar type of guys over and over that are not quite fulfilling and satisfying, but better than nothing, and you would like to change this pattern, is get a mentor. Work with somebody who can help you see some of your patterns that you might be blind to. I like to say that if you are in a picture, you cannot see the picture. You cannot see the picture from outside if you're in it. We are blind to our own patterns. We do not see them. Like, I don't see my own patterns sometimes either. This is why I work with a coach. And so help somebody to uncover it, teach you how to change it. So make sure that the person so talk therapy is good. It has its benefit. But if you're interested in changing, not just talking, find somebody who knows subconscious tools, right? And how to change subconscious. Fast EFT is an impeccable tool and very quick tool to change subconscious beliefs. And finally, when you pick a mentor, find somebody who actually have what you want, right? So don't hire a business mentor who doesn't have a business, or don't hire a marketing mentor who haven't sold anything. So get a mentor who is in aligned with their own values, right? So the person actually, teaches them, preaches the talk. And so that person will help you understand, uncover, and make those changes. And if you are overdoing the edutating, where it's like lots of reading or lots of listening to this, all of that is good. I started this way, and this is why I'm doing this videos. This is a good start. But if you find yourself in a repetitive pattern, it might be time to reach out and get some help. Alrighty, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video on the fixer-upper syndrome. I was thinking about it yesterday all day long. I'm so excited that I made it, and I hope it will help you guys to understand some of those patterns and to stop attracting client or partners who are not a good match to you. And if you're ready to go deeper and you would like to get some help with your personal patterns, or you'd like to help uncover some of your beliefs or understand why you're repeating certain things in your love life and to help get unstuck, or maybe you have a relationship that you're kind of iffy about and you're starting to question some things and you're wondering whether you should stay or should go, trying to get some clarity. Is it your part? Is it his part? So I will be more than happy to help. I'll make sure that there's a link below to book a free consultation with me. I mostly work with women through Tap Into Love program. It's a beautiful 6-month mentorship where we have an opportunity to get to know each other, go deep, and do some amazing work that is life-changing. So I'll make sure that there's a link there, but do start. Hey, Kathy, so great to see you. There's a link there to sign up and just have a free chat with me. And all what it is, guys, it's a free consultation to where you get an opportunity to ask questions and to get to know me a little bit. I'll get to know you, and we'll be able to make a decision if we're even a good fit to work together. But if you'd like my help on your love life, I'll be absolutely honored, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.